We went back to the bullshit. It comes as if we didn't learn anything about the community base. It comes as if we didn't learn anything about what it was to be sitting inside and having to deal with our thoughts and taking a step back and having to reevaluate our life. Comes to think about, we didn't think about how we forgot about when it comes towards our energy. What's up, y'all? Welcome to another Dope Life podcast, the dopest podcast ever. And I'm, of course, your host, Coach AJ, Dope Life Coach, the dopest life coach ever. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you never miss another episode. And if you could be so dope and lovely and leave us a rating and a review, I would greatly appreciate it. Because, I'm a one-woman show when it comes towards all of this. I record and edit all by myself. So we just trying to get this podcast out to more and more people. So go ahead, click that subscribe button. Share with your friends and family. Leave us a rating review so, the algorithm could be algorithming and it pushes us right where we need to be. All right. So I really want to talk about social media for a moment today. We're going into 2024, and I think it's extremely important that we really tap into social media just a tad bit, because social media can create a very big divide. And I think we've seen that over 2023. And how we create a divide between men and women, between this and that, how we created this community and that community. And it's very powerful. It's a very powerful tool. It can help build. It's kind of like, I remember reading this quote one time, and I'm going to have to Google it who it was, but it just said, money is kind of like a hammer. It could build and it could tear down, right? And a lot of people are using social media to make an income and a livelihood off of. So yes, it could be built. It can help people build up a business like myself, so that you could even see that I have a podcast and that I have a life coaching business. And it could be quite easily break down somebody's career or life, like just in matter of seconds and minutes, right? But I think we are kind of stuck in this whirlwind of thinking that social media is just, it's real. Because there's obviously many aspects of many apps, whether it is, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. I'm trying to remember what else. Oh yeah, Snapchat. What else is out there? I mean, there's others. I just, right now, that's all I could think about. That could not be real, right? These are people sometimes coming on these apps, creating these personas, and then we tap into it with a mentality of a comparison, like, shoot, I wish I had that. But we have no idea what happens in the back end. We have no idea, how hard it takes them to build. Now, I'll give you an example from my perspective. My perspective is this. I have to create a certain amount of content. I have a 9-to-5 job. I'm about to go back to work after being off work due to injury. And I have to balance all of that, plus my business and my clients, plus be on social media on top of that, and my lovely podcast, in the midst of working a 9-to-5 job. Now, some people have the ability that their social media is their one income. They don't need to have a 9-to-5 job. So there's so many aspects. I put hours and hours into my craft, into educating myself, into my clients. It's not something people will say, like, it's something that you do. I've been told it's a passion project. No, it's not. This is my life. This right here is my life. This is not a project. This is a business, a full-fledged business, and it's my life. And it's also many others' life, because I am a coach. I take that stuff beyond seriously. So social media is just like a percentage of what's important. But the other half of that, so I said there's many sides, where people, they need social media to survive in terms of income. So some stuff you're seeing on there, they have strategically tried to get and captivate your attention, keep your attention, and keep you wanting that information and that piece of content. And sometimes it could be information that will split your brain, thinking, well, they're right, and whatever I may have felt in the past is incorrect, or it could simply make you feel as if your life is inadequate. Now, if you notice with some of my content, I know some people will say, get up, you gotta do this, what are you doing? You blame yourself. You ain't shit. I'm not for that. I'm not for that. I'm not even. We got the world already beating us the fuck down. You don't need to do that shit on your own. We already got the world already trying to constantly remind us about this, that, and how we don't have this. So why you don't need anyone to come on your screen and try to tell you X, Y, and Z. You don't need anyone to come on the screen and say that all men are this and no, or all women are this, right? Everybody plays an intricate part. But have you noticed in 2024 how there's been, 2023, I apologize, how there's been such a divide when it comes to social media? It's such a great tool that could bring people together. There was a point back in when COVID first started and TikTok was booming because everybody was stuck inside. Everybody was coming together and they were coming on this one particular app just to say, yo, man, let's dance together. Let's vibe together. Let's make content together. Let's have fun together. The minute everything started opening back up, everybody went to the worst antics. Worst antics, man. We went back to the bullshit. Comes as if we didn't learn anything about the community base. Comes as if we didn't learn anything about what it was to be sitting inside and having to deal with our thoughts and taking a step back and having to reevaluate our life. Comes to think about, we didn't think about how we forgot about when it comes to our energy. We went back to the bullshit real quick. If not, it's gotten even worse. But I'm telling y'all, and you take a safe face however you want to take it, but don't allow the social media to divide you from what is clear, to divide you from what is true. Don't allow it to retract your empathy. Don't allow it to, retract your joy. Don't allow it to retract your love. You can find content online on social media that will motivate you, that will give you joy, that will, like, heartfelt joy, that will show you just greatness, how to protect your energy, how to take care of yourself, how to self-care. And I know we dig into the bullshit sometimes, and do it. But keep that digging into the bullshit a small ass percentage. Tailor your FYP page on all your content. You can do it. You could put in keywords so you don't see the bullshit. I even challenge you to do that for almost a week. Go into your app, go into the settings, tailor your keywords to something like self-improvement, lifestyle. Watch those videos for a week. You're going to notice a couple things. Number one, you're not going to be online as much as you used to. You're going to take that information and try to implement it, if that. But you're not going to be scrolling and looking for the bullshit like you did once. I ask you to take a step back and look at your social media content, because the way those algorithms really fucking work is once you dig into the bullshit, they keep feeding you that same type of toxic bullshit. It doesn't end. It doesn't end. And you want to talk about how social media could put you in a bit of a depression because you're looking at other people's stuff and you're wondering, well, why the fuck I don't have that? We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Anybody could buy a mic and a camera and a DSLRs. If you remember back in the day, I used to work at a store called Future Shop, which is connected to Best Buy. I never understood why, like, Future Shop even sold out to Best Buy. I wish they never did. It was a Canadian-based company. And DSLRs back in the day were mad expensive. We didn't even have a lot of them on hand because of how expensive they were. You used to have to go to specific photography stores to get these cameras. All of a sudden, electronic stores started carrying them. They still were not cheap. But now there's they created such compact cameras to do the exact same thing, and they're cheaper. So everybody's buying a $200 or $300 camera versus used to be like $1,000 and a bit back then, which is still a lot of money then, still a lot of money now. Used to be like $1,000 and a bit back then, versus you buy this little camera, and all of a sudden everybody is showing certain areas of their life. We don't know if that's an Airbnb that's rented. We have no idea. We don't know if that's their friend's house. We have no idea. There was a thing I saw that made me giggle, where somebody put It was like a jug of laundry detergent. They put up with a glass window on a shiny day, and it made it seem like they were on an airplane, but they were actually. It was the back of it was actually their dryer in their home, and they panned out, and people were like, "Yeah, don't believe the hype." You were like, "Well, how are they on vacation all the time? They're in the damn laundry room taking this picture." Don't believe the hype. Don't let social media separate you from what is true. Don't let social media separate you from what is real. That's all I got, y'all. Be wary of your social media, especially going into 2024, because I feel like they're just going to constantly feed and feed. It's going to only get worse because they know what you are addicted to. They know that we are addicted to scrolling. They know it. It's an addiction. They know that we are going to sit there and spend mindless hours scrolling. It used to be we spend mindless hours watching TV. If you notice, that's changed, right? It's mindless hours of scrolling. That's all I have for y'all. Let's talk about a real quick recap. We just went into like social media, protecting yourself, protecting your energy, being weary of what we see. Also remember, tailor your FYP page or For You page. Go in there, because if you're cool with what you see, then fine. But if you're thinking, if you go through it and do an audit of what you see. And if you notice like, damn, like I didn't realize I was constantly seeing that stuff. Also, before I even let you go, if you go in your settings, I know on iPhone it's in settings, I need screen time. On Android, I'm not too sure. But go and look at your screen time. Go look at how many hours you are spending. I did that this year, and it blew my mind of how many hours. Now, obviously, I create content that's a bit different, but I subtract that out. I said, yo, there's part of it where you were just scrolling. And I had to make changes. You could adjust going forward. And think about how you could adjust that for 2024. Again, yo, thank you guys so much for showing support. As always, I appreciate you. Go ahead. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and like and leave a review. And if you could, just screenshot this episode, put it in your Instagram stories, tag me in it, and I would greatly appreciate that, because again, that gets out to more and more people. My name is Coach AJ, Dope Life Coach, the dopest life coach ever, and thank you for tuning for another Dope Life podcast. Let's walk with peace and love.